Greetings, I'm Michael DeSanto and the host of this edition of Champion Chats, where we dive into proven success stories from around the fluid analysis industry. Today I'm joined by my good friend and colleague, Henry Neicamp. Welcome, Henry.
Thanks, Michael. Glad to be here.
Well, I'm glad to have you here too. I know I'm probably keeping you off the golf links today, but it's great to have you talk about how you're not only a champion on the golf course, but also in the area of fluid analysis. So thank you for joining us on Champion Chats.
Thank you.
So with that, Henry, you and your colleagues have really done a great job building new systems and new solutions for how customers can better understand how their program is performing, how they can utilize that information more effectively to make strategic improvements. And we call those program enrichment reviews. Can you tell us a little bit about those?
Yes, sir. A program enrichment review, when I talk about those, I look at those in light of what's my job responsibility. As a technical business consultant, I'm responsible for doing training and consulting for our customers. So what we try to do is take this program enrichment review, and I like to say it's not just data, it's what you do with it. And so we take this program enrichment review and we do what's called an 80-20 rule. We take the data and we look at it through a Pareto principle. And basically the Pareto principle says that 80% of your problems are coming from 20% of your equipment. So let's identify that 20%, let's focus on that, and let's find out what we can do to resolve the issues that you're having with that equipment.
We worked with a colleague for years here at POLARIS Laboratories that was famous for saying, don't just bring donuts, bring data to a meeting. And when you think about the program enrichment reviews, they're deep and rich with data. What is some of the data that's typically featured in these reviews?
Yeah, what I liked about the program enrichment reviews, a lot of times the customer gets the report and they see a page full of numbers. In the program enrichment review, we try to take the numbers and turn those into visuals, into graphs. And so some of the things we show is we'll have a graph that shows the summary of the number of samples they have submitted. We'll have another graph that shows what percentage of those samples were in the high severity category. We'll have another chart, a couple of charts, Pareto charts, and basically we're going to look at identifying the components that are giving you the issues, and then also a Pareto chart to see what are the major causes affecting those pieces of equipment. Then we'll also have some scattergrams. That's where we take the key performance indicators like viscosity, oxidation, fuel dilution, and we plot those against hours on the oil. So again, it's another visual for the customer to see how their product is doing, how they're holding up. Then also we'll include maybe some horizon management reports. Again, it's not just data, it's what you do with it. We take it from being a number and we make it a visual, which seems to be more impactful for the maintenance teams when they're looking at it.
That is great information that's being shared to the customers. Can you talk a little bit about which customers are benefiting the most from the reviews and how you even distribute that information to them?
Yeah, the thing that I love about program enrichment reviews is you can use it for both kinds of customers. And when I say both, I'm talking about commercial accounts, which typically have mobile equipment, but I'm also talking about industrial accounts, which have typically stationary equipment. And it's across all industries. It can be transportation, it can be oil and gas, it can be mining, it can be plant industrial. So all kinds of applications for end users to get a program enrichment review. Now, when it comes to how we share this information, we usually do it in a quarterly webinar with the maintenance manager, and we try to get the maintenance team on as well from all locations. And then we share the visuals, and we go through and we talk about them. And then at the end of it, we have a scorecard, and we show how they're doing in the different areas. And it helps them identify what they need to work on to maximize the return on investment for their fluid analysis program. And as a technical business consultant, at the end of the program enrichment review, I obviously give my recommendations, my observations, and share those with the customers.
And this certainly has to be a two-way street with the customer. So you're not only giving information, but they are thinking about how they're going to utilize that information when you give it. Henry, with all the reviews that you shared with your customers to date, can you maybe share an example of how one customer has utilized the information from these reviews and really made a difference within their program?
Absolutely. One of my favorites is I have a customer several years ago. We started doing these program enrichment reviews. And at the start of it, he said, Henry, he said, we really didn't put much attention on fluid analysis until we got to POLARIS Laboratories. And when you guys started doing the program enrichment reviews, that was very impactful for our team. And so he started sharing this information with upper management and sharing it with the team. And so what happened was that they started to get buy-in. And as they bought into what they saw the data, and it made them have a program that they call Good Catch. So they would try to save equipment. They would try to be proactive rather than reactive. And with the program enrichment review, we were able to identify problems that they had so that they can address them early when it was a minor repair versus a major repair versus a total rebuild versus a total replacement. And so what we saw over the course of a year, their high severity percentages went from 34% down to 13%. That's a 21% improvement. That improvement can be seen in dollars. It's like we like to say the 3 Ps: proven impact, proven uptime, proven savings, and that's what the customer saw.
That's a really great story, a great study right there. Thank you for sharing that as well. Now, Henry, you're a technical business consultant, correct?
Yes.
And that means you also give advice, right?
Yes.
So that means I'm going to give you a chance to give advice to all of our customers and prospects watching. Can you share one recommendation on how maintenance professionals can better manage a successful fluid analysis program?
Great question. I learned this early on in my career at Polaris. As I focused on fluid analysis, I would do training and consulting. And I quickly realized that no matter how much training and consulting I did, if I really wanted to drive a program, if a maintenance manager really wants to drive his program, there has to be somebody within that organization that says, I'm going to be the program champion. I'm going to put my arms around this fluid analysis program. I'm going to make sure that we take the samples at the right time, from the right place, with the right equipment. We're going to get that sample. We're going to send it into the lab in 3 to 5 days. We're going to get those results, and we're going to follow up on those results. And when you get somebody like that, that's a program champion that says, I believe in this, I'm going to do this, then he goes back and he changes the culture across the entire organization. He gets buy-in from upper management. He also gets buy-in from the team. And when you do that, you get the maximum return on your investment. That's my role, that's my goal, and that's what we do for our customers.
So Henry, you talked today about the importance of understanding a program by utilizing information, improving a program by taking action on recommendations that you share, and then the importance of a program champion on how they utilize information and how they manage a program to truly take it to the next level and integrate it within the whole organization. Great advice today. Really glad that you joined us here on Champion Chats.
My pleasure. Thanks for asking, and we appreciate your business.
And for all of you, thank you for viewing Champion Chats. And to learn more about how we help companies save more equipment and increase uptime, visit us at polarislabs.com. See you soon.